What's going on, everyone? I'm going to do a weekly review. Friday was the close. Here we have the dollar, and the dollar came down pretty good, but we didn't get any reaction on the upside as much as we should have on gold and silver, so it's a little skewed still. Good news on the grapevine is LBMA, the ones that stepped up a few years ago and wanted to do the price fixing on silver, has stepped down. So, not sure what's going to happen, but if they do away with the price fixing, I'm thinking gold and silver is going to get a little boost. And you can find that video. It was put out yesterday, late evening, by Road to Ruta YouTube channel. So you can find that. You can find it on my Facebook page for I Love Precious Metals. I shared that article or the video. So word is on the street is LBMA has stepped down from price fixing, and I think this is all coming from the Deutsche Bank lawsuit that they had to name all the bankers that were price manipulating the currencies. So there we go. Getting a little bit closer to a free market. And that's what we all want when we trade stocks. We want these machines taking our profits for us. So we have the dollar. We had a come down. Let's start from up here. We have a falling star, came down into support, doubled back, hit resistance pretty hard. We had another falling star here. That broke down previous low breaks, and you can see the bearish retracement there. And that was your best short as it just came tumbling down, even below previous lows. Came down into previous highs, broke into those, and it looks like it's closing on its lows. So it's got a little ways to come down, maybe about 10 more points, but it looks like it's coming down pretty good there. Going back to a daily, you can see that crush. When it went into previous lows, it got thrown back pretty hard, rejected, as they say. But on a daily, it came all the way back into support. So we'll see what happens. Is this going to be a continuation? Because it is a dark cloud cover. But we got plenty of support. It stopped at the 8 support, we got 13 support, and we got 34 support on the way down on the daily. But as you saw, the 60-minute has broken down. So let's see a little follow through with the longer time frames. See, it's closing on its lows, so I'm thinking it's not done yet. It could double back on an instant on the open on Monday, but we'll see what happens. It is at support on the daily. And for the week, the close was a really nice rejection, closing below the 8 on the weekly. So is it a rejection, or was it a breakout, come back into support kind of situation? I'm contending that it broke down on a weekly basis, and now this is the bearish retracement into resistance, and will allow it to fall over. Hopefully that plan will stick. So going on to S&P, Dow, and NASDAQ, you can see they all got a little pushback on Friday, or Thursday to Friday. Looks like it came all the way back down in support and bounced. We still have dark cloud cover. That dark cloud cover just hanging on by a thread on support. So we'll see what happens. It looks like it wants to come down into the next line of support to fill the gap. I'm thinking a blow off top would have been a bigger gap and run. One of those long extended bars, so it's not really a blow off top yet. But they're all bearish on the daily charts. The dark cloud cover, it's got to recover 50% of the previous candles. So on a weekly, just a little pushback. Look for a little retracement back into support previous breaks. What I'm looking at. Other than that, the monthlies are showing so far. It's the beginning of the month, so it doesn't really add up. On the NASDAQ, you got the spinning top. Oh my God, come on. Dow Jones, you got a little falling star forming monthly chart. And the same with the S&P. But long way to go for the month. Onwards and upwards. Let's do Shanghai. It looks like Shanghai is just winding up. Still looking for a flat top break on the monthly. Weekly close. Looks like it came back down in support. Got knocked back a little bit. We got a higher low now on the consolidation over the 34. Plenty of support left. And a daily. Looks like it broke previous lows, came back down into support, the next range of things, and closed right at previous highs. It'd be nicer if we got over this previous high, but it's damn near close. See what happens. Nice reversal bar, long wick, gap down. Look for a bearish retracement on the daily. See what kind of turnaround we got. Next, some 2-bar pattern. We got a hammer. We got resistance coming in. Let's see what happens. Got to cover the gap. The 10-year note daily got a little whipsaw. Broke out, came back in. Daily. It looked like it was going to break down, but now we got a 2-bar pattern that's bullish. Let's see what happens. It's still being knocked back by resistance. We got 813 above here. We got a 2-bar bullish pattern and a thin line of support on the way down. So we'll see if that's a bearish retracement back into resistance, allowing it to fall over. And on the daily, see the little rejection so far. Nikkei, looks like I got a pop into resistance, trying to break that double top. Got rejected. Came back down into the previous break already. Pretty nice. And just a sideways consolidation phase on the weekly. Closing a pretty bullish candle, but like I said, being rejected so far. Got the higher lows putting in, nice little pattern forming. It's inside the pattern still. Trade outside the pattern. Crude hasn't fallen over yet. Lots of sideways action, just a pretty lame sight. Slowly but surely, you're going to close into that closing pattern. Corkscrew right inside there. See where it pops out of. Higher lows came down into support on that 13. 13's building. So is the 8. 8 looks like it's turning over just a little bit. We do have lower highs. But we want to break that previous high. So it's getting tightly wound in there for a weekly chart. Nothing much to see. Looks like it came down into support and doubled back. That could be a bearish retracement, so let's see. Let's see the open. It broke down, came back into resistance. Did close on its highs though, so not much of a rejection. And it did close 50% of the previous candle, so it might have this Momo back. Nice bounce off of support. Close enough. Coal. Let's see what coal's doing. Coal's breaking down. 8's crossing over the 34 now. I'm looking for a bearish retracement to solidify the deal. So far it's hanging on by a thread from previous lows. We need to get above previous highs into previous lows to get this thing rolling on the upside, but it looks like it's falling over. We had that double bottom over the support line. That broke down in the bearish retracement there. Coal needs a lot of work. Something happened. Weekly broke down, showing support. Next break. Next range, if it breaks into the range, it comes. I got 31 for support coming in. So let's see if it reaches there. Steel, still trying to pick up the pieces after the steep drop from that top. Looks like a bearish retracement. Still struggling. Made a top here. Now we have an opposing point. Bearish encompassing, came down into support, made a lower high, came back down. We got a double bottom forming, and just a thin line of support. As this looks like the lower high is going to carry it onto downward. And that broke down, came back into resistance, broke down again. Maybe another bearish retracement before it falls over. But we do have a higher low. Oh, we got a lot of resistance on the way up, so looks like it broke down with this lower high. The wait and see. Weekly looks okay. We still have support on the weekly. Just looks like the daily's breaking down a little bit. So watch out below on that weekly. It's the 8 and 13 are right below. Looks like we had a bounce on Friday. We're still closing a 2-bar pattern on the daily, or the weekly. That weekly is bearish. Got rejected. Coming down in support. I'm gathering it's going to come into the 8. Hopefully the 8 will hold. It's holding by a thread. This could just double back. No doubt about it. I'm hoping that it does, especially after the news of the LBMA taking a step down from the silver fix. Looks like the COMEX is having a huge problem. Just huge amounts of open interest. They're just printing contracts like nonstop. Who knows how many contracts are leveraged against 1 ounce of gold and silver. The numbers might be overextended. That's why we're seeing hyperinflation in the Dow, S&P, NASDAQ. Things are not looking good for equities. Hopefully we can all survive the storm with miners. But these are all paper contracts too, so just keep your heads on straight. That's a 2-bar bearish encompassing pattern, signifying a change in momentum on a weekly chart. Let's see if it comes down into support or goes sideways or just double backs and takes a ride. Look for previous high breaks at 1260. I got nice support at 1220, so let's stop there first. If it wants to come down, let's make sure we hold 1220. Otherwise, the emotional spot on the chart, 1200, right where the 8 is. Watch for their previous low breaks, watch for previous high breaks. Silver, same thing. Kind of rejected. Did close above. And looks like the 8's coming up. Every week the price closes up higher than the 8. The 8's going to be forced to come up and meet it. So hopefully on Monday the EMA 8 will open higher and we can have support again. Then we can have price in a pinch, where resistance is slight and support is gaining. Still, 2-bar pattern bearish. Could double back. Watch for previous lows into support. I want to break 1850. 1850. Where are you? Right about there. Previous high breaks. Let's do it. Breaking in the previous lows. Copper. Copper looks like a extended top here. Still hanging on by a thread. Weekly close. Put in a higher low for the weekly close. Closed above the EMA 8. So we still got support. It's very thin. Looks like a bearish retracement to me. A higher low. Broke down. Doubled back. Hit resistance. Have an opposing point now. Now our trend line is in effect. That hit support. Now it's bouncing back with a higher low. So we get a pattern, but I'm looking at the EMA 8 and the 13 and the 34 breaking down here, doubling back, hitting resistance. That's a bearish retracement. So see what happens, but it looks bearish to me as the ball is bouncing lower and lower. Real quick, let's look at the GDX, GDXJ, same kind of movements. It's more like a stair step for all of them. Down into support. JNUG just got thrown into the fire. Previous high breaks are right here. We need to get above there. Most important on JNUG. That bounce hit that previous break and got knocked back. We need to get that long-term reverse head and shoulders. We don't want to stretch this back too far, as the whole pattern will break. And when you have failed patterns, things get drastic. So it looks like a pretty good bounce, but we got rejected from the previous breakout point. So it's got to do a lot better. The daily is crossing, the 8 is crossing over the daily. A lot of work after that crumble. Bam. The bleeding's got to be over. I mean, unless the pattern breaks down, it's got to hold support. Unless it breaks down, it's at its tipping point. So let's make sure we get more bounce out of this. Let's see how we're doing on the hourly. So now we have, we tried to get support over here on the 8 and the 13, but it got rejected. Now we got support of the 8 and 13. So we got a bottom. It's more like a V bottom. So let's get this pumping. This looks like it's going to come back down into support first. Then we can have an opposing point, make a pattern, come down into support. Let's get an opposing point and then a nice steady incline so we can get back above our 34, consolidate and move on. But whenever you see something break down, it takes a while for it to recover. We do have an A, B bottom on the 60-minute. 4 hour instead. We got a three bar pattern on the 4 hour. So let's get back above the 8, consolidate, and move on. Maybe just go up and hit the 13 first. I don't know. We got a 3 bar pattern reversal on the 4 hour chart. So that's good. Work is in progress. But previous low breaks just knocked it down. $3, $4. Jeez. Watch out below. Let's see, Bitcoin. Looks like Bitcoin is consolidating. Do that good run up. Let's see if it wants to come all the way back down into previous breaks, like it does. Previous breaks is at that 1160. So the hourly started to break down. Now we're looking for a bearish retracement on that hourly. Watch for the rejection. It looks like it broke down here, came back in. That was your best short. Now it's getting into previous lows. Let's see if it wants to climb past or get rejected, make an opposing point, and try again. Or it could just fall over, coming all the way back down into previous breaks. So we got a series of higher lows, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Let's watch the bearish retracements back into resistance. But nonetheless, letting these things breathe after a nice break is very healthy. So we got some major support at previous high breaks. Cliff. Looks like we got a 3 bar pattern on the hourly. Reversal. Stick to the daily. Nice break. Came back into support just like that. Need a better churn out of this. It's hugging that previous high break. So let's make sure it doesn't come back into the previous pattern. Weekly close is hanging on a thread from the previous high breaks. Looks like I was hoping for gold and silver to come down, and then uranium was going to take another leg up, but that wasn't the case. Looks like it wants to come back in to support some more. That is the full retracement, though, coming back all the way into previous high breaks. The previous pattern break. Came up, came all the way back in. So we've got a nice support line. Don't know if the bleeding's over yet. The hourly, we can gauge that by the hourly. We've got a higher low going sideways. Let's get above the 8. Crack into the 13, come back, consolidate, try again. Just like always. I don't think UEC is done yet. Could be. Weekly close on UEC, came all the way back in. All the way starting from that double top. I was in this when that double top happened. I'm lucky I got out. That double top. It's the significance of a double top right there. I'm looking for AG, and then I'm going to call it quits. Here's AG. There we got a 2-bar pattern on the 4-hour forming 2-bar reversal. V bottoms don't work, so let's get this thing into resistance, make an opposing point, try again. Hourly, nice bottom here into the 8. Let's watch this come into back into support, or go sideways and try again. Sideways consolidations work, but we got rejection going in on that 13. Nice bottom. We still need an opposing point, but this can go sideways and then have an opposing point. I don't know. I'm guessing it's going to come back into support, have an opposing point, try again, right over the 13. Hopefully the next ride will get us back into previous lows, upwards to 875. But that's it, guys. Good news, on Friday after the close, the LBMA is stepping down from the silver fix per video of Road to Ruta. Bix Weir. You can look that up. Comex is not looking good. Bitcoin, the evidence is there that when the unadulterated Bitcoin goes past the price of gold, you know, because Bitcoin is only like a $16 billion market cap. Well, gold and silver are more than that. This is a small market, but when this unadulterated, unmanipulated market goes past the price of gold, you know the dollar, and you know, you just know the dollar is becoming more worthless by the day. And then it also proves that gold and silver is really just being manipulated to the highest extent. So hopefully we can stop all this manipulation. I want a free market back. It's the reason why I quit trading for years, because nothing ever made sense when you have market manipulation. But that's it. I'll see you guys. Appreciate all of you.